Greetings and welcome, my friends. This is the Italian Job 5, another version of the amazing series of decks. This time around, we're out to doppel and blink our way to victory. We're packing a lot of our usual cards with a new complement of saga men with great abilities. We're taking advantage of a new card that has multiple uses. We can use it defensively, or we can use it on our men to renew their abilities, as well as save them from removals or sweepers. Let's get in there. We're playing the full set of Into the Flood Maw, the 1-mana bounce spell we can use early to fend off enemy men before we're set up defensively. Or we can use it late to eliminate a blocker. At any point, we can gift the opponent a tapped sushi, and we can bounce any non-land permanent back to the opponent's hand. It's a small price to pay to get rid of something that's rather annoying. Stormchaser's talent is a fantastic card that we can use to get an early blocker, and we can level it up to get an instant or sorcery back from our grave. In the late game, it becomes part of a game-winning engine that can let us overpower opponents with massive spells. Later on, we can take it to level 3, and that will give us an otter token with every instant and sorcery we fire off. It's just another way we can get blockers or token men to get in for hits. Spectral Restitching is a new card from the Spider set that can blink out men or artifacts, then return them to play at the beginning of the next end step. This is a versatile card that we can use to slow down enemy men, or we can use it to save our own from removals. With this deck, we can also reset our own men to keep them in play longer and reuse their abilities. Doppelgang has become our signature kill card. With it, we can make multiple copies of any of our permanents, or we can copy the opponent's cards and use their own stuff against them. Being a sorcery, we can use a talent to get it back for a second go. Stock Up is our dig. It'll get us 2 cards out of the top 5. We'll use it to find our key cards as well as get anything we need at the moment. It's a great way to find the right color mana to help power out our cards. Being able to get it back for multiple castings with a talent is a great way to get a large chunk of the cards we need to end the game. Ancient Cornucopia is a bit of ramp and life gain all in one card. Because it can tap for any color, it also helps fix our colors. The life gain can help us stay in a game until we can deal with enemy men. Map the Frontier is a great ramp card. It will fetch out 2 lands from our deck and fix our colors, as well as taking us up a pair of mana. With it, we can fetch out basics as well as any of our deserts that hit the opponent for a point of damage when they enter. Beyond the Quiet is our sweeper of choice. It exiles, which means any men on board will vanish forever. This avoids any death triggers, especially the ones from a lot of the men that Sephiroth Sacrifice decks love to play. As a bonus, this also hits Spacecraft. The Green Virtue is a powerful ramp card. Early, we can use it to get a land out of our grave. This ability is great to get back a passage that we've used. Later in the game, we can get back one of our men from the grave. Once we have the mana to play it out as an enchantment, our basic lands will tap for 3 mana. Making copies of it with a doppel will give us access to dozens, if not hundreds of mana. Knights of Round is one of our big men that we'll use to end the game. Because it's not legendary, we can copy it multiple times, or we can use a restitching to reset it and get even more tokens. Because it does have indestructible, it will be harder for the opponent to deal with. Bahamut is another walking saga that can take down the opponent and their permanents in just a few turns. It will destroy anything when it enters, and again on the following turn. Kinda sure it will end up leaving play on its own, but we have restitching to reset it, and we can always use a doppel to make multiple copies of this big beater. Will it turn the opponent's life total to paste? Yes it will. GG's opponent, and thanks for coming on the big show. For lands, we're playing 4 Fabled Passage, the special land that we can sacrifice to fetch out any basic land. 3 Lush Oasis, the Simic Desert. 3 Creosote Heath, the Selesnya Desert. 3 Lonely Arroyo, the Azorius Desert. 4 Forest, 4 Island, and 3 Plains. Playing the deck can be tricky. Mulligans can be critical to getting a good start. Recognizing when a hand is bad is a critical skill. Hands that have a mix of early plays as well as ramp usually work out best. Ramp can be a key part of our early game. Not only will it help us have more mana, but can fix our colors. Use early defensive measures to keep our life total up while we work on setting up our board. We have multiple ways of winning games, including damage from deserts, as well as our big men or copying the opponent's men. Every game presents a new route to victory, so be open to winning with whichever avenue presents itself. That's the deck, boys. Let's go play some games.
Do you want to play a game?
This is Mountain Dew 90. No, wait, it's DAW 90. Everyone's hero. We're kicking things off with a 3-lander. We've got a Horn of Plenty and a Sweeper, along with a Restitching to help keep enemy men off our backs while we build up. Keep your pants on. Our bro took a mull, and he could easily take another if he's not careful. We'll grab a forest with the passage. We do need a green to be able to play out the Horn of Plenty. We draw a stock up, which can help us find more lands or more ramp. They play out a Black Mage's Rod, the equipment that makes a token mage that is eager to hit us for 1 with every non-creature card they play out. We'll stick with our plan and go with the Horn of Plenty. It'll help us recover life that we're likely to lose to their token. They play out a Nutrient Block. We'll take a point from their token, but at least it isn't another threat. They follow up with a Legion Extruder, and that could be a problem. They are down to 3 cards, so they might be running low on ammo. We draw a passage, and we'll use it to fetch out an island. We'll fire off the stock up. We should be able to find something off the top. That's a bounce, and we'll take the talent as well. The talent will give us a blocker so we can at least fend off their token. They play out a Tithing Blade, so blocking will not be possible. In that case, we'll bounce their token. The bounce is so much better than having to use our Restitching. It's card draw that also would have hit us for another point if their token were still in play. We draw another talent, but let's get our stock up first. Then we can play out the talent. They go with a Phantom Train. At least it isn't a Pain Train. Or is it? We draw another Horn of Plenty, and we can play it out and follow up with the stock up. Out of these, I like getting another land and the bounce. We already have 1 of each of our big men in hand. We'll send in our Plump Otter. The damages should make them consider going defensive. They activate their Phantom Train. We did not see that coming. They do have a limited amount of times they can activate their train that way. It costs them an artifact each time. They sacrifice another artifact to activate their train. Not much we can do about the hits this time, but we've got ways. We draw our 8th mana, but it enters tapped. We'll go ahead and pass the turn. Spending mana to get back a card would only make them use their vacuum. They finally use their extruder to make a token. It does cost them an artifact, and they don't have many left. They fire off a fanatical offering and do us the favor of sacrificing their vacuum. That, my friends, is an oopsie-poopsie. They play out another Black Mage's Rod. Those are so good they ate the last one they had. Ate it like a pie. They follow up with a Tezzeret. At some point, we're going to fix all these wagons they've got going on.
Everything you own will belong to me.
They go for pump on their golem. And we could bounce it. That would be a good solution to their robot men. But let's wait until they send it. We're still not sure if the golem is all they'll have. They fire up the train. It's a beefy 7/7. Now that is a pain train. Is it time for the bounce? But which of their men do we hit? Maybe this calls for the restitching. I was hoping to use it on our big men, but clearing their team out here would be a decent use for it as well. Let's not take a pile of damages. 2 of their men are gone for good, and their train will be reset. They'll need to sacrifice more artifacts to get it back to a 7/7.
I am in charge.
We draw some of our ramp, but we have the mana to play out our Knights of Round. Let's get some board presence and try to turn this game around. They try to snake us, but the time for that came and went. We are not concerned. In fact, here, have a token. They fetch out a 1-mana artifact. They have to make sure they have fuel for their snake and train. Snakes on a train, that should be a movie. We draw another restitching, which is absolutely amazing. But for this turn, we'll want to fire off our ramp. That'll get us the mana we need for Bahamut Mama, and with her down, we can make some magic happen. We'll bounce their snake back to their pants, and then we can get in there. They activate their pain train to try to save what's left of their crumbling board. But Nabro will send their train packing. No blocks will be thrown here.
Enjoy your win. For now.
They play out their little guy, but more blockers will definitely be needed. They try to snake us again, but that came with a huge price. They've got nothing left but the train and the snake. We draw a desert, and that will take them down to 8 life. We'll play out Bahama Mama for the finishing touch. That's going to be GG's extra cheese. This is the Darien. He's the only one. There are no others. I'm not lying. We get a 3-lander with plenty of ramp, a talent, and a doppel. This is not bad. Sure, we have a ways to go before we can doppel, but we've got a solid base to start with. Keep. They get to start the game at 19 life. These deserts are so unfair. They drop in an Orzhov land, gain and drain, or sacrifice, maybe? They play out a case, so life gain then? We'll play out the Horn of Plenty this turn, and that will set us up for the frontier on our next turn. They play out an Amalia. That's more in line with life gain versus gain and drain. They warp in a Halaya to gain a few pounds. No, wait, they're gaining life. That's a lot of lands. We draw another Horn of Plenty, but this turn we'll go for ramp. Let's just grab some Doppel mana. Don't worry, bro. Take your time. We'll just speed things along. They play out Halia for her full price. Amalia will get to do her thing. They'll gain some weight. No, wait, life. They gain life. That's a channeler on top, of course it is. But they bin it. That could only mean a revive is in our future. That's 2 channelers that went in the grave. Smell you girls later. They send in Amalia for damages, but our token will take the hit. That's exactly what our early otters are for. We draw a stock up. We'll have to put it on hold for now. This turn has to go to clearing their men out. But wait, if we play out the Horn of Plenty first, we still have enough mana to smash their men. That's the way to go. They play out another case. There is no such thing as gaining too much life. Aerith arrives. She's like a channeler that can't gain flying. They follow up with another Halia being warped in. Gotta gain that weight. We draw another Horn of Plenty. We'll play it out, then follow up with our stock up. We'll take the talent for sure. That's another sweeper too. We can surprise them with it if they play out more men than they should. They play out another Amalia. That's their second one. They send it, but once again, our token will take the hit. They play out their Halia, and that too is their second one. We draw another stock up, but first let's send these men packing. Smell you girls later. Let's grab some ramp, and I do like the restitching. It's an excellent card that can be used in so many ways. Bro is terrified of making plays. All their men are eating it. They go for a third Amalia. That's probably all of them. That's another channeler they've dusted. That's 3 in their grave. They play out another Aerith. They're not running out of men as quickly as I expected them to. Our next course of action is going to have to be thoughts and prayers, or we could ramp, which means we would take a big hit. Or we could level up a talent and clear their men out. I think that might be the safest choice. Fire in the life gain hole. All I see is dead men. They finally play out a Starscape Cleric. They've only been holding those for most of the game. Oh, no, they didn't. They play out a Sheltered by Ghosts and use it to snag one of our talents. It's cute, but it's not a good play. We draw a sweeper that will let us save our restitching for later. Say it with me, and with feeling. Fire in the life gain hole. We'll fire off our ramp, and we'll grab some Doppel mana. They sacrifice a case. We're about to see some of their men pop out of the grave. They really believe in that Sheltered by Ghosts. It worked so well last time. We could doppel for 3, or we could restitch and mess up their attack. It's a tough choice, but luckily restitching is an instant. They play out the Sanctifier. More life gain that's going straight to the gut. They follow up with the Cleric and pay the Offspring. That was a lot of drain action. We're below 20 life now. They send it and we'll wait for them to do their thing. It's not a simple process. The time has come to restitch their efforts. We don't want to blink out every guy. We want to be strategic. Let's hit the attackers and their token. There's a lot more drain headed our way, but we'll be clearing things up nicely on our turn. Let them enjoy their game and drain. We draw a Knights of Round, but this turn is all about clearing the table, mostly of their men. They drop their hand, that's all they've got. Sure, they can get more men by sacrificing a case, but that would only be a couple of channelers. They activate their man land. That's 3 damages. The life gain they get is not a concern. The end is nigh. It's time for our doppel at long last. We can doppel for 3 and we'll copy a talent and their 2 men. It's our turn to gain. We're about to get a huge boost and we'll end up with some rather large channelers. Who has the beefy goodness now? They poop it and scoop it, and we didn't even get to play out the Knights of Round. Well, GG's, extra token cheese. And that, my friends, is another satisfied customer.